Today, I continue my quest to bring you under the radar motorcycle related stuff. In today's case, I'm going to put forth 5 beginner level motorcycle models that you may not be aware of. If you are a new rider who's just starting out, just got their license or just passed their MSF course, and you're starting to look into all sorts of motorcycles, and people from the left and from the right and in front of you, behind you, and on the internet are whispering in your ear and telling you to get a Rebel 300, Rebel 500, or a Ninja 450 or 500 or 650 or whatever. I'm here to tell you that there are other options for you. Now, these under the radar motorcycles, maybe mainstream doesn't think about too often. Maybe they're just up and coming. Maybe they're brand new. Maybe they're from manufacturers you haven't heard of, or from manufacturers that are not from a typical country like Japan or America. Wait, no, America doesn't have any beginner motorcycles. Yeah, no. So if you're kind of looking into something that's not a Honda, for example, or maybe not a Yamaha, or maybe you just want to kind of just look at some European stuff, or even consider a Chinese bike, for example. If you have your mind open and your options open, this is the right video for you. So without further ado, and in no particular order, let's take a look at the first under the radar beginner bike you may not have heard of. If you're new to motorcycling, you may have heard of Hondas or Kawasaki's, Harley Davidson's, obviously, maybe even Indian, but there are many other motorcycles out there that are not as mainstream, at least not in America, and some of them are from countries that we don't typically associate with good motorcycles. In this particular case, this motorcycle comes from a company called CFMoto. Here, they're considered up and coming, and they have a lot of false perceptions that they have to kind of climb over and get over. Namely, that Chinese stuff is considered junk, right? So in this case, this particular company has done a lot of work to get that perception thrown out when it comes to their own motorcycles, and they've done a pretty good job. They have a lot of good motorcycles coming out, well-reviewed motorcycles by very established motorcycle journalists, reviewers. The particular bike I'm talking about is the NK 450, or the 450 NK. It comes in at under $6,000. They're hungry. They want your money. So they threw a lot of tech and kind of whiz-bang stuff at this bike to get newer riders interested. The design of it is very much a street fighter. It's kind of burly and angular and angry, and it comes standard with ABS, and it's a 50 horsepower engine. Now, don't let anybody tell you 50 horsepower is more than enough for a beginner. In fact, 50 horsepower is more than enough for any kind of city riding. Some of the things that make this a pretty great beginner bike: I mean, it's light. It's 364 pounds curb weight. The seat height is pretty low, 31.3 inches, so you're able to put your feet down and feel comfortable at stops. Are you willing to take a chance on a Chinese bike? If you're gonna do it, I would say CFMoto is the one. They are the ones that are kind of like raising the stakes a little bit for everybody else. For the next bike, if you have your eye on a cruiser, but feel like Harley and Indian just don't have the beginner bikes for you, fortunately, if you don't care that you're getting a metric cruiser, which is, a cruiser that's not from the States, basically, There are plenty other options. Honda makes a great one, the Rebel. They have 3, 5. Those are kind of like the go-to, especially the 500 one seems to be like just in that Goldilocks area. But Kawasaki just released in the last year or so a pretty competitive model, and it's called the Eliminator. What is it trying to eliminate? My guess is the Rebel 500. Its starting price is $6,500, and it's kind of like a no-frills beginner cruiser. It's a step below the Vulcan S. It has that ergo fit thing that Kawasaki has that can adjust your ergonomics. It has smartphone connectivity, and it has ABS. And that's about it for technology. But if you're getting a cruiser, you're probably not looking to have it super technical. Again, pretty much everything that as a new rider you kind of want. It's the cruiser that a lot of us wish Harley or Indian would make here in America. It's mind-boggling why those two companies don't have a beginner bike, at least in America, because they certainly have them in China. And then we wonder why Harley's in trouble. The next model on the list is for people who want a certain aesthetic, is the only way I can say. Because the Husqvarna Pillan 401 certainly looks like something. Now, Husqvarna is owned by KTM. So if you're doing your research and you've run into some articles on how KTM's in trouble, this may color your perception on what this bike is, but Husqvarna is still Husqvarna. Now, they use certain parts of KTM's bikes to make this bike. It's just aesthetically they change them and they tune them a little bit differently. But regardless, the 401 is like a neo, I guess, a cafe racer. So if the CFMoto NK is a little too iffy for you and you want like a more European style bike that has some pedigree to it, that has the connection to racing like KTM does, maybe the Pillan is the way to go, because it's certainly striking to look at, but it has that single thumper growl that everyone associates with Husqvarna and with KTM. It sounds great. It rides really well. It has been reviewed really well by, again, a lot of motorcycle journalists that I trust, that most people trust. And it is perfect for riding in the city, in the burbs, or wherever you are. You can even take it on the road. It's fairly comfortable. It has a ton of accessories from Husqvarna and third parties that can outfit it to look a little bit different, personalized, or even get some kind of package for traveling if you'd like. It's not gonna win any races, but it looks fantastic. It has tons of character. It has a little bit of tech to it. Again, everything you need as a new rider. Of course, the downside is finding a Husqvarna dealership near you. The next bike has opened up a new market for the manufacturer that makes it, which is Triumph. Triumph, for a long time, like Harley Davidson, is a premium brand, did not really have an option for beginners. In the last couple of years, they had come out with the Trident 660, which was the closest thing. But they were getting their butts kicked by Royal Enfield. And Triumph probably thought, well, we make Bonavilles. Why can't we make our own small Bonavville? In partnership with an Indian company, they produce this single-cylinder, for all intents and purposes, Bonaville-looking motorcycle. It looks like there's Speed 900, and I mean, it looks great. If you kind of were looking at Triumph or didn't even know Triumph existed, take a look at this, because The Bonavilles were huge for that company for a long time, since the early 60s, and they still make them, and they still sell really, really well. It's kind of like Harley's Sportster. They've been making them for years. They've changed a few things here and there. They tweaked them, they made them water cooled, that sort of thing. And now they have this 400 single, which looks amazing, looks just like the real deal. It's perfect for beginner riders. It costs $5,400, just in that sweet zone. And it's a premium bike. It's more premium than what you're gonna get from Royal Enfield. And it has plenty of horsepower. It's 40 horsepower. Again, for a new rider, that's more than enough. The seat height is 31 inches, and it only weighs 375 pounds wet. So it's got, with all the fuel and oil and other liquids. And that's about it. It's a no frills kind of like throwback to vintage motorcycles from the 70s. Now that I'm done ragging on Royal Enfield. The final model is, in fact, a Royal Enfield. But it's not one of the Bonavville knockoffs. It's actually an iteration of their one of the best-selling motorcycles that they have, which is the Royal Enfield Himalayan. This version, the Scram 411, takes the Himalayan, loses all those heavy parts that make it like this heavy adventure bike, and turns it into a fun kind of like city riding scrambler looking thing. It costs $5,000, brand new. Like, come on. And it looks fun. It looks cool. It looks crazy, scramblerly, vintage looking. Royal Enfield's really known for kind of like putting a lot of colorway options for you so you can choose the color you want. Is it the best bike on this list? No. The technology that created this motorcycle is decades old. Royal Enfield knows this. But what they did was they took this simple machine and made it fun and available and accessible to new riders and old riders and riders of all kinds. It's slow, it's a little heavy, and it's outdated. But I would have that bike in my garage. I had ridden the Himalayan. The Himalayan is just something fun about that motorcycle. It's just kind of like the industrial nature of it. It just sounds great. It does fine on the highway if you need it to, but who wants to go on the highway in the Himalayan? Off-road, it's fine. And the Scrambler, because the Scram 411, because it's kind of light-ish compared to the Himalayan, would be a lot more fun on off-road, or if you're taking it on some gravel roads or single tracks. Nothing too technical. I wouldn't make this into a dirt bike because it isn't. But you could get into lots of fun trouble riding this around, or just dailing it to work and back, and heck, even take it on a trip. If you could do it on the Himalayan, why can't you do it on the 411? So that wraps up my 5 beginner motorcycles that you may not know about. They kind of fly under the radar. Why not try something different? Why not at least go look at those? If you have the dealerships in town nearby, check them out. You may actually like what you see, and that can set you apart a little bit from everybody else that's getting the Rebel or whatever. So hopefully this was enlightening, fun, entertaining. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Check out some of these other videos, and I'll see you next time.